is presented by VERB. We are your hosts, Aaron Tate, Adrian Poe, with the lovely Jasmine Patterson behind camera. Everybody say hello to your future selves. All right, so if you've been catching our other videos, which you know what we like to do is we like to pick a certain topic that may be a little controversial in the world today, and we discuss it. We have several points that we bring up throughout the discussion. And aside from that, we also like to get you guys involved as well. So for those of you tuning in, feel free to comment and ask any questions throughout the discussion that you may want us to answer. But today's topic, we are going to be continuing on another discussion on another one of our videos. We had discussed toxic femininity, so this is a continuation of that.
What was the title of that video?
Toxic femininity.
Oh, bet.
And so the title of this video, again, is going to be a continuation of that. It's going to be called "What Do You Bring to the Table?" What do you bring to the table? Would you like to discuss how we came to discuss this topic?
Woo! So y'all, apparently there was some misunderstanding in something I said in one of our other videos, and that's fine because I'm here for it. However, I made the statement that a female, upon meeting a guy, making the statement, I can cook and I can clean as things to bring to the table is toxic. But let me explain what I mean when I say something is toxic. When I say something is toxic, I'm basically saying that it is not a productive mentality or a productive concept to have for fruitfulness in any given situation. So apparently it was misinterpreted that I was saying that cooking and cleaning is no longer valid, or it's not a good referencing point when someone asks you as a female, what do you bring to the table? So this video is gonna clear all of that up.
Jasmine, do you have anything to add?
I'm just ready for the conversation. I want to see where this conversation goes, because somebody, probably did take something that you said out of context. So I want to hear the clarification.
Ooh. Isn't she supposed to have a mic?
Hold it. It's your mic.
Yeah,
My bad.
You talking my neck, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry. All right, so I do want to say, though, before we get started, I still mean exactly what I said. I just want to clarify what I said. So I'm sticking with cooking and cleaning as introductory statements towards a building relationship. When you're laying things that you're bringing to this relationship, cooking and cleaning, I still agree, as introductory statements. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is a toxic statement to make. Let's get to it.
And he came up with an entire list here. So we're gonna only tackle 4 things on this list. First, we are going to bring up what we consider to be common things that people name whenever they're asked, what do you bring to the table? So like the first question is, what do you bring to the table? So a common thing a man might say is, I have a job, I have a penis.
No, it'd be more like, I got that good, I can lay it down. You a daycare center? What do you mean lay it down? What, you a brick mason?
And also loyalty, which...
So they say that
okay,
to get you in, but because that's common, I'm loyal,
Or actually, it could be it's uncommon in the modern male.
Yeah. So when you say it, it brings
like,
you on in.
I got one.
I got one loyal. Yeah. So once you give them, once you give the female them 3,
that's all I need.
Oh, we ready to get married.
That's all I need.
Like we ready to get married.
That's all I need. The first job, he gonna provide for me.
Yep.
Penis.
Got a penis.
He can make me come whenever I need to. Loyalty.
He ain't dogging me out like the rest of them.
Yes.
That's all y'all. Well, not all of y'all, but most females are satisfied with those 3 things being put on this table.
And then for the woman, common thing that they may say is cooking.
I can cook.
Cleaning.
I can clean.
Loyalty.
I'm loyal.
And vagina.
Yeah. Some women are bold enough to be like, "Oh, I got that good. Oh, that WAP. That's real.
Yeah.
So they
right.
made that a thing for them now. So now all the guys looking for that WAP now.
They need that
You know,
WAP.
so now you gotta add a number 4. You can cook,
Right,
you
right.
can clean, you gotta be loyal, and you gotta have that WAP.
Right. Jasmine, do you have a problem with anything that we've brought up so far?
As a something common.
So
to
far,
hear.
no. I'm good.
So far, no. Do you have any comments or anything?
Quenisha Laster said, hello, you guys.
Hello.
Shay Price said, nice of y'all to show up. LOL, just kidding.
Calm down.
I'm sorry. So before we get started, do anyone disagree with those things that he just named being common when you're being introduced to someone and you're discussing what are you bringing to this relationship? For the most part, females are content with a guy having a job, having a penis, and being loyal to her. And kind of like most females have this concept, well, you know, the rest of it we'll figure it out. Most guys are okay with a woman as long as she can cook, she can clean, she's loyal, and she has that WAP, as y'all say now these days. Those statements basically form what we know now as a relationship. Mm-hmm. Y'all pretty much agree with that?
This is where our whole music will be playing.
Mm-hmm.
We're good right now on comment.
Okay.
All right, so there are 17 different traits that our friend Adrian has come up with for a productive relationship, but we're only going to discuss 4, and we're going to split this up into a 4-part series. So today we're only, because he wants to tackle every single thing.
We got to talk about
Quenisha says, nope, she does not disagree.
Okay.
And Evangelist Alicia Moore, hello.
Hey.
She said no.
Cool.
Okay.
Monique says, yo, the camera looks so clear.
Let's go!
Didn't I say that? I said that. I'm glad you saw that, Monique, because I just said it.
All right. So, but yeah, we're going to split this up into a 4-part series. So in this series, we're only going to be discussing 4 traits. So today we're only discussing 4. So the first trait we're going to discuss, something that is needed for a productive relationship, is effective communication.
And before we get into that, I want to make sure the big picture of this video is clear. My initial statement was a female mentioning or a male accepting a female simply saying, I can cook, I can clean, and I'm loyal, and I have good vagina. Those as initial statements when it pertains to what we're bringing to the relationship, those are toxic if those are your initial entry statements. Because those things can be found, learned very easily, or done on an individual level. So cooking, you can YouTube cooking. Step 1, boil water. Step 2, put pan on stove. Step 3, get butter out of refrigerator. Like, that's easy. I can clean. Go to the dollar store, get some mean greens, spray it, wet the tile, and wipe. Like, those things are not hard to grasp and build within yourself. And it's the thing. If you're by yourself, you have to eat anyway. So for a female to introduce herself to me saying, I can cook. Okay. What the freak was I eating before you came along, though? Even if it is some noodles and a sandwich, I'm surviving. So if you're only bringing to me another grade above a bologna sandwich or even a Thanksgiving meal, is that really going to benefit us together? Because this is something I was doing by myself anyway.
So I think we should specify, what do we mean? What does it mean to bring something to the table in regards to a relationship or a romantic relationship between 2 people? I think for me, and feel like this is where you're getting at. When it comes to the idea of bringing something to the table, you're bringing something that contributes to the furthering of this relationship.
Correct.
That contributes to, like you mentioned earlier, the fruitfulness of the relationship, or maximizing the productivity of this relationship to the fullest extent.
Correct.
So, when we're saying cooking and cleaning, that's not really something that can maximize a relationship, because, like you said, it can be done on an individual level, or it's not something that's tough to come across. You know what I mean? So again, the traits that we're going to discuss today, these are traits that we believe are necessary traits in order to maximize the potential of your relationship to the fullest extent.
And before we get into it, any trait that we name that you deem as not necessary, please let us know, and let us know specifically why you can take this trait out and still be productive in a relationship. Let's get to it.
Did we have a comment?
Miss Evangelista and Evangelist Alicia Moore said hello. Then she said, I was saying I disagree. Then she stated that's crap. Then she said most men can cook, clean, and provide as well as being loyal to how he conducts his life with a female. And then she said absolutely. I think that was while you were talking to explain.
Okay. Cool. All right, so the first trait we're going to discuss is effective communication. Jasmine, when you think of effective communication, what comes to mind?
What comes to mind is that two adults are able to have a conversation level-headed and able to see both sides of whoever's story or whatever the case may be, and you know, work something out to where it'll be more conducive for the relationship or the situation.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how necessary do you deem effective communication in regards to a relationship?
I'm going to have to rate it pretty high. I need to be able to talk to you. I need to be able to have a conversation, or even if I am mad, like, it is appreciated if I have like that balance in my partner to where they're able to kind of, you know, tone me down a little bit, and then we're able to really just talk, like you said, take the emotion out of it, and let's just really talk to see if we can find some type of resolution.
So that sounds like a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it'll be pretty high.
Borderline 11.
So
right.
Do you all agree that you can't take effective communication off the table and still have a productive table?
Ask that again. What'd you say?
Do they think you cannot take effective communication off the table and still maintain a productive relationship? Is that something that is necessary to keep on the table?
Yes, it is, in my opinion.
So would you say that upon meeting someone, effective communication takes precedence over your ability to boil water and put a turkey in the oven?
Yeah.
Or even, so let's ask, is effective communication something that you can, something that's easy to build while single or while not exclusively dealing with someone else? Yeah, exclusively dealing with
Do
someone.
you have to be effective in communicating on a daily basis if you're not dealing with someone on a daily basis?
Yes. You still need to be able to hold a conversation with somebody, even though you don't know them. You can need to have effective communication with your coworkers when you're at work or around family or around friends. Like, I feel like with effective communication, you really need to, like, take the biasness out of it. Like, make sure that when you are having that conversation, you're able to be open to a new perspective.
Right, but we're saying, is that something that you can, is that a skill that you can sharpen without ever talking to anybody in any relationship, romantic, friendships,
Can you
family?
sharpen it?
Yeah, is there a way
Can you develop that without actually coming in contact with another human?
I'm sure you can.
How?
You can.
How?
You can.
How
You need another human to talk to.
I mean, you got to work on self.
But
like,
you can't. So hold on. Let me think. The thing that you just named are considered common communication, such as speaking, dealing with coworkers. Those are common communication skills. Mm-hmm. What we're asking is effective communication skills to obtain or reach a goal. And if we're dealing with a relationship, we're talking about bringing effective communication to the table. Therefore, what I put on this table, we're both going to be able to use to build each other up in this thing. So it's no way possible for you to build effective communication as a single individual, because You don't have to be effective with nobody but yourself. Right. Now, common communication, you can do that every day. Hey, how you doing? All right, I'm good. Yeah. But effective communication comes in where you're in a relationship, whether it's business partnering, friendship, marriage. You have to have another human to talk to build that with. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you take effective communication off the table, and you probably not going to have a table. So the question was, do you deem effective communication at a higher regard than cooking and cleaning when we're talking about things that we're adding to a table?
Yes, my rank is still pretty high. Give it a 10. Okay. I need that effective communication.
So even if you can't cook or clean, if you can communicate, we could probably end up communicating about you learning how to cook and clean.
Or we could be in the kitchen cooking together. With effective communication, we can cook up a meal.
We can do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So do y'all agree that that's a necessity and it takes precedent over cooking and cleaning?
Fountain Bernard said, hey, bro.
What up, bro?
Quenisha Laster said, you got to have effective communication because without communication, you can't have nothing else, and I've learned that.
Correct.
Fountain said, very necessary.
Would y'all consider... I'm sorry, do we have more comments?
Yes,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jerica Mall said, explain a little more about taking effective communication off the table, because if it's gone, what's left?
Our point is that. We're on the same page.
Right.
Miss Alicia Moore said, if we can get along, you can reach me intellectually.
Boom.
Can we be supportive for one another and have effective communication? A man can have the smallest love muscle, and I will love you like it's larger.
Come through, little muscle.
And then
so effective communication really
takes precedence over sex. Yes, I was just about to ask that. Y'all.
That's powerful, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I said just to name a few things.
Okay. Who that is?
Miss Evangelist.
Come through.
Alicia. Reggie Poole. He said no.
Bet.
Miss Alicia again said yes. Adrian, that's
Bet.
right. Jerica said yes, most definitely. Fountain said right. And then he also said, come on, Poe, break it down, bro.
So basically, effective communication makes your penis look big. That's basically what I heard.
No.
And that's really what I heard. Effective communication is kind of like Viagra.
Right. Okay.
I mean, it works. Metaphorically speaking.
Right.
You know. Okay. So we need that. And that one just really trumps all the other stuff. But we finna get to the other 17 though.
Number 2. And this is something you were kind of alluding to a little bit as far as emotions go. Mm-hmm. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. When you think of emotional intelligence, what do you think of?
I was going to ask, could you explain?
Look up the definition. I love this.
Well, you kind of explained this in the video. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Okay, bet. So we're still discussing things that take precedent over cooking, cleaning, and vagina. The second thing is emotional intelligence. If someone is emotionally intelligent, that is an amazing trait to have on your table in regards to a relationship, because let me tell you how many avenues it can fix. Like Jazz stated, there's going to be times, since we know that emotions are chemical imbalances or balances in our brain that fluctuate throughout time, space, and whatever, right? So day to day, you can be in different emotional states. The verbiage that you project to your partner in those emotional states may change from 9 o'clock to 9:30 to 12 to 1, whatever, right? If I have emotional intelligence, the way that I'm receiving what you're saying is going to be filtered through my emotional intelligence. Therefore, I have the ability to now either calm a storm or weather that storm and not take it personal, knowing that you're in the emotional state, the reason that you're fluctuating up and down. So what you're saying to me is either not what you're really trying to say, or you're revealing what you've been wanting to say, and now I can then take that and address it, or you're just being erratic. Is that the one? You're being really erratic and irrational, so I don't even take it personal or pay it any attention, which keeps this bomb from exploding. But if I don't have emotional intelligence, every little thing you do or say, I'm going there with you. And can you imagine how it would look in a relationship if no one has emotional intelligence? That means whatever comes up or whatever you're currently feeling, you're now going to project that on your partner, and they're going to now project how that affected your space back on them, and now you become Malcolm and Marie.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that.
That basically what that whole show was about. Two individuals with no emotional intelligence, because that whole argument could have been solved after that first round, but because they lacked emotional intelligence, it was a blow for blow. It wasn't let me bob this. Why did you swing at me? Oh, I did do such and such. Well, look, I'm sorry because I did such and such. See, emotional intelligence is like a sixth sense.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, go watch that movie on Netflix. It's called Malcolm and Marie. And you'll see why emotional intelligence
is needed.
It's very important. Scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah. After that explanation, I'll still give it a pretty good.
You actually said a while ago, sometimes I'm going to be fluctuating, and I'm going to need you to calm me down. And not only calm me down, be able to talk to me. Because this is the thing. If you're emotional and you say something to me, if I don't have emotional intelligence, first of all, I'm not going to calm you down. I'm going to punch you in the face mentally or verbally, not physically. Second, I'm not going to be trying to calm you down because now I got to get my verbal lick back. Third, I don't have the ability to come and talk to you because I now want to talk at you. And you know, talking to you and at you are two totally different things, which is going to get you higher than you already were. So if we remove emotional intelligence and replace it with some grits, what do we have?
A mess.
A mess. So once again, answer the question.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give it a 10.
All right.
Let's stick with that for a second. Who do y'all perceive needs more emotional intelligence, the female or the male?
You're gonna start a whole nother series.
The female or the
You're
male?
gonna start a whole nother series.
Who needs more emotional
I thought we weren't
intelligence?
supposed to separate. I
We
thought this was for everybody.
we still here, but I want you to answer that question first, though. Who do you think needs more work in developing emotional intelligence?
Both men and women.
Okay. I mean, that's right. I ain't mad at you.
I know.
ain't mad at you.
That's the answer I'm going to go with.
Why do you
I'm
say
going to go
both?
with. Because both men and women need to work on that. Because you do have some men that probably use anger as their emotion to communicate instead of just calming down and getting a level head about yourself and having a conducive conversation. With women, sometimes, we'll get too heightened. And like you said before in the video, like we just kind of spew out all of our feelings instead of sitting down and putting what we're really wanting to say into a conversation. But because we're so hyped, we're not getting the message out. So I feel like both men and women need to work on that.
Well, emotional intelligence. So what you're speaking on isn't kind of what he described as emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is more so recognizing the emotions of your partner.
Okay.
But it also deals with you too. But I projected it as just a partner. But emotional intelligence also has to be reverted on yourself as well. So it worked both ways. Okay. It does work both. So your answer is valid.
Well, I'm asking is in terms of being able to recognize the partner's emotions. Because I think, and we've had a whole video on this in terms of emotions. The modern day male, as far as what society portrays, people believe that males don't have emotions. So I think if females were to become a little more emotionally intelligent, we would be able to recognize, oh, you do have emotions. I just now need to recognize how to interpret them. And, same for the male as well.
Yeah, that's why I said both. In that same breath with what you said, reverse that around with a man, and he still needs to
trying to make it equal,
Who are you?
Let me get to these comments. All right. Jerica says, how do you use effective communication when one sees the glass half empty and one sees the glass half full?
So
I was ready. Okay.
Who
wants to go?
So
Our minds, bro.
So I'll use my experience as a trainer, and we've all been trainers, right? So, or even as a teacher, or anybody who is in the education field or works in education or having to teach something. Right. So as a teacher, as an instructor, your job is to be able to cater to the learning styles of the people that you're teaching. If you get a group of people, not every single individual is going to have the same learning style. There's 3 different learning styles, right? Kinesthetic, auditory, and what else? Visual, right? So you got 3 different learning styles pretty much for the entire world. So the idea of a teacher or an instructor is to be able to adapt to each individual's learning style. So that means you have to then hone your skill and be able to see, okay, what works for Susie may not work for Clark. What works for John doesn't work for Brittany. You know what I mean? So it's like, as far as developing effective communication, it's just developing or recognizing when you're using a specific way of communicating, being able to recognize whether that's getting through to the person or not. If it's not getting through to them, now you need to adapt and figure out a different way to get your message across. Same way with teaching. You see this teaching style is working for Susie, but you see it's not working for Clark. So now you have to adapt to Clark's learning style and see what works best for Clark to figure to get your point across to him. So when it comes to effective communication, when you're dealing with someone individually or exclusively, it's being able to recognize, okay, I'm saying this to them, but they're not understanding. They're not taking it in how I'm trying to present it to them, or how I'm trying to get it across to them. So what do I need to change in my teaching style or in my delivery in order for them to actually see what it is I'm trying to say? So it's just being able to adapt to the individual's learning style.
Good answer. I like that.
I agree.
Okay. Fountain Bernard said, "Oh, I like what effective communication does for that muscle."
Legit.
For the love muscle.
Man. Super Saiyan nothing to Super Saiyan 5. Like that. Just communicate, bro.
Your penis turn gold?
Power up. Clothes on. We ain't even made it to the bathroom. Tell you, right? You'll be surprised.
Bruh.
Alicia Moore says, effective communication makes what's small big. I'm just saying, too many women gotta have good sex, and not to be concerned about communication. I know many women that take a lot of disrespect and more because he has a nice size muscle. Effective communication is key.
Listen, let me show y'all that real quick. And I like to do things in visual pictures and numbers, right? So, a great sex session, I don't care how great it is, right? It's not going to last 24 hours. Can we agree?
Yes.
It's not. You'll die. Like, like, you can't have that much blood flowing down there for 24 hours and survive the next day. We agree?
Yes.
Nor can a vagina take that much beating for 24 hours. We agree?
Yes.
Okay. Male and female, any disagreement, right?
No.
Right.
So, this good sex can't even last 24 hours. Can somebody give me a time limit on how long effective communication lasts?
A lifetime. A lifetime.
True G, this day, which one you want? You want good dick? Or that walk? Or you want effective communication? This table looking a lot more cleaner now, ain't it?
But I think what people do is like that good sex can offset
years of
years of no
You
communication.
mean 30 good minutes can offset 30 years
of no communication?
We got bigger problems.
Yeah,
we got bigger problems.
We do,
yo.
bro. We do.
Miss Alicia Moore said, "That's right, Adrian." Jericho said, "Facts, emotional intelligence answered my question." Fountain said, "I'm gonna have to watch it now. Never thought to look at it."
Malcolm and Marie.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a perfect example of no emotional intelligence at all.
At all.
Alicia Moore and Quenisha Lasters both said 10.
Boom.
So I think that's what he was asking about.
So we
the
really got
ranking.
10 across the board right
Yeah.
now. Okay.
So far, over cooking, cleaning, and sex.
Miss Alicia Moore said that's a whole nother series.
I told you, but you don't open a whole other can.
She also said both. I believe that was probably to the question which you were asking me earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Jerica said it's today's society. It depends on the couple. Quenisha Laster said both.
Mm-hmm.
Monique says, I agree with Jazz on both. Men have emotions as well, so having emotional intelligence is necessary for them too. Now, women are more emotional, we all know that, so it's only right we need to be more emotionally intelligent.
So, just one critique to what Monique said.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't agree that women are more emotional. Y'all just display the most common emotions. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. Miss Rhonda Jones. Hey, Miss Rhonda. She said, what did I walk into?
She probably called the part we were talking about the
Oh, the
you gotta go back and watch it. Go back.
Start from the beginning. Start from the beginning.
Yeah, she said that she's gonna catch up.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's really good.
So far, we have taken effective communication and replaced that with cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional intelligence.
We replaced it with good sex.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's all so far.
All right, so let's move on to...
Miss Evangelista Moore just said, right, we do display more of our emotions than men.
Yeah, it's just y'all display it more in a common way of perception.
Display them in a more recognizable
recognize.
The third characteristic or trait to bring to the table, sympathy. Sympathy. So let's look up the definition for sympathy real quick.
Sympathy is the word?
Mm-hmm. Sympathy is the word.
So a third trait that we should be putting on a table instead of grits and sex and cleaning, some mean green, is sympathy.
Sympathy is a feeling of pity or a sense of compassion. It's when you feel bad for someone else who's going through something hard. Sympathy is a feeling of pity or a sense of compassion.
I've talked to many females and guys. I'm not even gonna limit it to just females.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've talked to more females than I have guys because most guys don't like. I have to pull teeth to get this out of them. Mm-hmm. But anyway, who expressed to me how they feel like their partner don't sympathize with them. Like that's a major problem in regards to a relationship. The non-sympathetic aspect not being equally given. So like most of the time the female does give it to the male, but the male don't know how to give it back. Or the male gives it to the female, but the female don't know how to give it back. So you can have effective communication and emotional intelligence, but not be sympathetic. And at that point, you kind of feel like you're in a relationship with a robot. You see what I'm saying? Like, can we honestly take sympathy off the table as an important factor to bring to it and still be effective?
I don't think so. I don't think you can take it off the table because you have to care about your partner. Like you have to be sympathetic to whatever situation it is that they're telling you. They're, basically kind of pouring out some stuff that they probably never poured out before, and they need a partner that's gonna encourage them and embrace them instead of ridicule them or
just be cold.
Right. Like I feel like you need to have that. You need to have that balance of caring. Because if I'm talking to you, then in the midst of me talking to you, you need to know that I'm caring about you. Like I'm coming from a place of caring or being sympathetic.
Yeah, I wouldn't merge caring with the sympathetic because like I can be sympathetic about what you're saying and not care at all. Like I don't have to care about it to be sympathetic with you. Does that make sense? It don't make sense?
Yeah, I don't think you.
Just try a different way.
So based on the definition,
because you said compassion. I thought I heard that.
So again, it says a feeling of pity or a sense of compassion, feelings of pity and sorrow for someone else's misfortune.
It's kind of like just being able to.
So to me, I interpret that as when someone is sad, I feel sad because they're sad. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I wouldn't rate that as high as the other traits that we've discussed. I feel like as long as you have understanding, which is, we'll get into that later on, I don't think the other person necessarily needs you to feel bad just because they feel bad, but they do need you to at least understand what they're going through.
Yeah, I'll use the word
So
understand.
for me, I do think sympathy can be taken off the table, as long as you have the other trait that we're going to discuss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like you can ask Monique, like anytime she's telling me something she's going through, even just y'all experience with me, like can y'all account any moment in our friendship where I displayed true sympathy for what you guys were going through?
So let me say this. I guess we'll go ahead and get into understanding because it's kind of merging.
Yeah.
Your understanding exudes sympathy. And that's what I was trying to explain. Like, I know you don't care, but because you understand, it exudes a level of sympathy. Not that you're going to feel what I feel, not that you're going to cry if I cry, but just I've never gotten that non-sympathetic feel from you because you have understanding.
So when you think of sympathy, like what do you think of?
Just being able to. So to me, this may sound weird, but I think you'll get it. Sympathy is like a synonym. Like, I can at least be a synonym. Like, you're the word and I'm a synonym. So that's what I think about when I'm thinking about sympathy. You're the one going through it. The least I can do is have some level of comprehension or parallel to that event or understand it. You know how a synonym and the real word is not the same, but it's so correlated to where you could substitute it with it and not mess the sentence up. Does that make sense?
I think I see what you're trying to say. So we just go ahead and get into the next word then. So the next word is empathy. So empathy.
Sympathy and empathy.
I think that's when we get into actually being able to feel, and empathize with the situation.
Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another.
There you go.
So that one would fit more to what y'all are talking about.
Yes.
So then sympathy.
So to me, when I think of empathy, I still don't think of it as the same. So when it says being able to understand and share the feelings, it means you share something in common with the individual, or you share a similar experience with that individual that pulled out the same emotion that you may be feeling at the time. Not to say that you're now feeling that emotion with the other person, which is what I feel like sympathy speaks more towards. So for me, I think empathy may be a little bit, well, for me, individually, empathy is more important than sympathy. Because I think what you were discussing earlier, I don't think people need other people to feel sad or sorry with them. I think they just need them to understand why they're feeling sad. Yeah. So to be honest, just for me, I think sympathy can be taken off the table and the relationship still be productive as long as we do have empathy.
I can agree with that. And I saw that the other way around. I saw sympathy as the version you just explained and empathy as the other one. So for me, we can take empathy off. I don't have to be able to, if you cry with you, but... Sympathy. No, I'm telling you the version that I'm thinking.
Got it.
To me, I switched them.
Gotcha.
I don't have to be able to, empathy meaning to share it. For me, sharing means if you cry, I'm crying. But for me, as long as I can sympathize with you, I don't have to empathize with you. So I would take empathy off as long as I have sympathy. Either way it goes, one of those traits is needed. Or one of those should be on the table as a productive, effective factor in this relationship, whether it's friendship or relationship or marriage. Can we agree that it's important at some level? It don't have to be a 10, but it's somewhere in there, one of those.
To be honest, I think empathy should be at a 10. Because if you can't understand what someone is going through, then I feel like that kind of affects your communication. Because
how would you be able to respond if you're
not understanding why this person is upset at the time?
I think I would do that too. I think I would keep empathy on the table.
I think what's happening is I think we're all saying the same thing. It's just the way that we're
you're
viewing
switching the words.
Yeah, the way we're viewing the words is different. But I agree with what you're saying. But
Yeah.
I put all of
care
that.
about each other.
I put all of that under sympathy and not empathy. But either way,
Switch
Yeah.
the word
I
then,
ain't
bro.
switching it.
Switching, yo.
Switching it. I got you some sympathy. Got you a good cup of
So
it.
you ain't got no understanding.
Right.
Sympathy ain't understanding, yo.
He said he gonna keep pouring that. That's it. Take this cup.
I'll give you however much you need till they fill that bowl.
I just need you to understand me,
I got
yo.
you. I got you. I can sympathize. I can relate it to something. I can relate it to something.
All right, Jerica said, if the right man shows the right woman all of the replacement actions that we've discussed for cooking and cleaning, they together won't have to worry about good meals and good sex, etc., because that's going to automatically be a benefit of proper communication, in my opinion.
You know what's crazy?
Jerica, I like
We
that.
only named 4. She don't know it's about 12 more.
We got 19
12 more.
But
We
the
only
fact-
named 4.
She's already like...
She already like, y'all got it. Like,
She's ready for the
Yeah,
rest of it.
yeah.
Like, I like that response. Thank you for that, Jerica. Miss Alicia Moore said, part of being effective includes sympathy. That's balance. Latoya. Hey, Latoya.
hey, Toya.
Hey.
She said the job is a prime example of what he said.
Oh, being able to sympathize and empathize with the people.
Okay.
She might have been referring to my effective communication when I mentioned being a trainer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She probably could.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. Can you
Alright.
specify if that's what you meant,
She's
please,
right
Latoya?
Miss Moore said, I'm like that. I might not care, but I can sympathize by showing you that I feel for you and that I'm there for you.
Yeah, I mean, I shed no tear, but I got you. I got you some correlation of this somewhere. It's somewhere in there.
So we don't need no understanding.
No.
I'm with you, Jazz. Some people.
Aaron,
Is you good? You
he does not
good?
care.
You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
I don't need
All
it.
right. Latoya said, I can be sympathetic to people, but I don't have to have an emotional tie to it.
Yeah, and it's the thing. That's me.
That's
I'm sympathetic, but if I realize that the emotional burden of it is gonna take me too far, I'm not gonna be empathetic. But we're saying the same thing. It's just the way that we're interpreting the words are different. But either way it goes, we understand that one of these is needed, regardless of your interpretation of it. One of them is needed for a relationship on the table.
So basically, for us, we prefer empathy.
Yeah,
for him,
and
he
we
prefers
prefer
sympathy. The actual definitions of the word.
Yeah.
We prefer someone to understand us. He just
Correlated somewhere.
you just prefer to be able to feel sad for what someone else is going through.
But that, so would you say that that's like you don't want to take on someone else's energy because you don't want to be...
I did it for years. It's too much.
Okay. So, okay. Well, that's understandable. Now I see why...
I got PTSD.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm sorry. I had a flashback. Y'all.
Stop.
I had to come up with a defense mechanism for this thing.
Quenisha says, I agree with dude with orange and yellow sleeves. I literally forgot his name.
Aaron, yo, my name is Aaron.
It's okay.
That's wild.
Dude, orange and yellow sleeves.
If you want to, Quenisha, just remember them as the double A.
Double A,
Double
baby.
A.
Like that's
Stay
Aaron in
charged.
the orange and yellow. You got Adrian in the blue.
Ready.
Okay. All right. LaTiffany R says you must show genuine compassion. Sympathy is showing you care without keeping score of prior issues or payback.
So, do we all collectively agree, regardless of the interpretation, one of those concepts is needed on the table when you're talking about building a relationship?
Yeah, just depending
at
on
least
the
one of the
individual.
other-
Yeah, depending on the individual, you got 2 to choose from.
Yeah.
Right.
We need one of them though.
Right.
You can pick whichever one you
Yeah.
want, but I have to have
One
one
of them has to be on the table, for
Got
sure.
to be on the table.
For sure.
Miss Moore said, I agree with you, Adrian. LaTiffany says, empathy, ability to understand and share what another feels. You can totally relate.
Yeah.
Latoya says, I agree completely with Adrian Powell.
Bet.
Monique says, empathy
Ain't
means...
nobody liking me. So. they ain't trying to hear what I'm saying.
Like, don't care about me, just listen. Like, just listen.
Alright.
Monique says empathy means you remain emotionally separate from the other person. Sympathy implies taking on the other's needs and problems as if they were your own.
I see that as opposite.
She just
Flipped
flipped
it.
No,
it.
I think-
So if that's the case,
No, I think that's no, that's exactly right. Like she can attest to our relationship.
So, well,
like,
I am more empathetic than sympathetic, if that's the case.
I think
have
we're
to
still
figure out
confusing
these
the.
words,
So listen.
I'm sick of it. Like, which one?
So sympathy is more so caring how the other person feels to the point where you are now taking on their emotion at their current state, right? Empathy is not necessarily caring about that person's emotional state, but at the very least you can understand why they feel that way and even relate it to a common experience that pulled that same emotion out of you.
But you don't actually have to pull it out. You can just relate.
You can relate to it.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, well,
Right.
I'm more empathetic than sympathetic.
Yeah, so I'm still gonna ride with it, Adrian. We gotta have one or the other.
I mean,
It just
either way it
depends.
goes, one of them is needed.
Yeah. So
I
it
really
just
don't care which
depends.
one.
Yeah.
We ain't got to get into the definition. I don't care which one.
We just have
You
to
can
know.
pick, but one of them has to be on
Right.
the table over cooking, cleaning, and good sex.
But now you're
Yeah. I'm more
empathetic
empathetic
than sympathetic. Take it back, bro. Take all this back, yo. Like take it all. Take it, yo.
All right. Where we at?
So that's 4.
Yes.
That's 4. And according to my girl, who that more?
Yes, Miss.
She
Alicia.
said those 4 alone, we can ride. We got 30 years of marriage in us right now. On them 4. And 12 more.
We got 12 more,
12
yo.
more. You want to cut it out right there?
We can get 2 more in. I feel like
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
All right,
go ahead.
so Miss Moore also said we have to understand what it is to have empathy, Adrian. How else can you do, as the Bible say, mourn with those who mourn?
I get it.
etc.?
I'm empathetic.
Empathy is a 10.
I had my definitions crossed. I am definitely more empathetic than sympathetic.
Miss Rhonda says you're trying to say you care about the person feeling sad about something, but maybe not care a whole lot about the thing that they are sad about. Hard to explain.
Yeah, no. We get you. Oh, yeah, I'm with you. That's it. That's it.
we gonna get it clear at some
That's
point.
it.
Latoya said, "Gotta get back on the phone, guys."
We appreciate you tuning in on your
Appreciate
break.
it.
though. We appreciate
Appreciate
you
it.
tuning in on your break.
She also says she completely agrees with you, Adrian. Tiffany says true love produces empathy. And Miss Rhonda says, in other words, Adrian is thetic. LOL. Which one is that, Miss Rhonda? How you?
Is what?
Thetic. THETIC. In other words, Adrian is thetic.
She made her mean empathetic.
No,
Like
she
you talking
has.
fast.
She has thetic.
Oh, like thetic. I agree. I'm in there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I got a little hint of it somewhere.
Whether it's imp or simp.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just said either
Either
or.
way, you
Yeah,
said it. Yeah. Legit. So we can agree that those 4 take precedent, and we 10 across the board then, right?
Yeah.
So we 10 across the board with effective communication, emotional intelligence, empathy, and sympathy are number 10 on things that need to be on the table.
Because they can all 4 of those really go hand in hand or work together.
Yeah, they in
Yeah, I
tandem.
ain't took nothing off the table yet.
All right.
What's
Number 5.
But we did agree we can take cooking
we
and
can take
cleaning
cooking and
sex off the
cleaning
table.
off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the new.
Oh yeah,
I haven't.
the thing that people don't normally say. I
Right,
have.
I haven't disagreed to
With any of
remove
them,
that
okay.
from the table.
But we just want people to acknowledge that we can take
We can take this other stuff out
Yeah,
and still
like
have a productive relationship.
cooking, cleaning, sex,
You know what?
job.
We can't like those things are. We can keep them on there, but like when you're really trying to have a conversation with somebody and
We
maybe
need to
they're
come out these.
yeah, that's what, so
Because
like,
this stuff
Yeah.
can be.
We're just saying in order for
Right,
a
and
relationship to sustain.
okay,
itself.
okay. So
Yeah.
yes, so far
We don't
I
need
am,
a job to sustain a relationship. Because I'm saying, hold on.
Put your neck in.
To sustain a relationship.
Right. Okay. So I'm trying to agree here. I'm trying to say that like the basics I still feel like those can be discussed. But like you said, to maintain and keep the relationship, the things that we're talking about now, I'm in total agreement.
We will definitely discuss these at the bottom of the
Right.
Okay.
We definitely will. We will discuss
So
these.
think about it like this. So a job is necessary to keep on the table in order to pay bills, right?
Yes.
So for a relationship, though, is a job necessary to sustain a relationship?
No, not a
Right. So we're only focusing on
the
these
effective
things.
communication, emotional intelligence, sympathy, empathy. That's our job that pays the bills of our relationship. Don't hit me. Don't hit me.
Calm down.
Do not
Don't do it.
hit me, yo.
Why you say that?
Right.
How you say that like that? Why did say that again?
Hold on,
Say
bro.
it again. Let me
So
get the light on you, bro. They gotta feel you on this.
listen.
Lord have mercy.
So, if you have everyday bills that you have to pay, a job is necessary to keep on the table in order to pay said bills. The four characteristics or traits that we've discussed that need to be on the table in a relationship, those are the jobs that you need in order to pay the bills of your relationship.
That is the clip you put on TikTok and tag old girl. That's the clip you put on TikTok and tag old girl in it. And if she don't feel that, we lost that one. Like, there's no better way to say what you just said.
I'm out here, bro. All right. So number 5, we got management. You want to tackle
Management. You're going to have to break that one down.
Man, yeah,
That one
management
sound
in
a
what
little
aspect,
spicy.
yo?
What does that mean?
Woo!
Managing what?
I bet. So number 5 of things that need to be discussed about bringing things to the table in a relationship is management. Now, we can go off on different rabbit holes. We have management of time, management of energy, management of resources, management of money, which is not the same as management of resources. Can we all agree that those things are 4 things that are essential in regards to management?
So run them again.
Okay. We have management of time. We have management of energy. We have management of resources. And we have management of money. Do you agree to all 4 of those being things that are needed to be managed by individuals?
I believe so.
Yes.
Okay. So when I say management is something we need to bring to the table, meaning if I come to the table and you don't have or can't even acknowledge that we need to discuss management, how can we be productive? Because if you can't manage your time, then when are we going to spend time together to practice our effective communication, emotional intelligence, sympathy, or empathy? If you can't manage resources, what if I come to the table with more resources than you have? We're trying to put them together, but then we both lose it all. If you can't manage your energy, you're giving your energy to all of your family and your friends, therefore not leaving time for me to develop that effective communication, emotional intelligence, sympathy, or empathy, all the time, or energy management. Can we...
Run it. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep running it.
So, what was the last one? If you can't manage your money,
Man.
then we sure enough got a bigger problem.
Because what are we doing?
So, can we agree
Because
that...
the actual bills ain't going to get
Right, the real bills. Not the ones in here.
Not the ones in here, yo.
So, can we agree that management needs to be dropped
Yes.
on the table?
On the table.
It needs to be like forklifted. Like those are some really good. Set them down. Set down that time, energy, resource.
That's
money.
4 out the gate. Like that's 4. That's 4 traits that's built into management. Like those traits are built in by itself. So even if you didn't have the first 4 we just named, bringing management opens up 4 traits by itself. And you don't think we need to discuss this stuff more than grits and dick? Come on. Bad.
I like that. I like that.
So we give it a what, 9,
I'm
10?
gonna get it a 10, bro.
We-
That's 10. Management is important. Like
10
now that
across the board
you've
still?
broken it
Across the
down
board.
in those categories, like you literally have to have some type of like
You got to.
control or management
got to.
over those resources.
You got to.
Over those 4.
What do y'all give it? Y'all get, what do y'all rank it?
All right.
Like shaking Kobe in here, yo.
Miss Rhonda said preach. She also said time, energy, resources, money. She's repeating.
Let's go.
Let's
go, yo.
Monique said this one gonna be good. Zanita Crump says management of time, resources, energy, and money.
Let's
go. Let's make shirts, man. Let's get the merch out.
Yes, bro.
Miss Rhonda, she does agree. Miss Moore, management is important. Quenisha says, "Oh, the double A's."
Oh,
the double A's is tearing it up.
let's go.
And I ain't heard the rest of the traits yet. She said she ain't got nothing else to say, but that right there.
It's 14 more, yo.
We can fit a couple more in this.
What time is it? My wife gonna kill me.
It's
3:35.
Oh, we got
You can't do that.
No. This is part 1, y'all. We have 3 more series of this where we'll be introducing about 14 or 15 more traits that are necessary to bring to the table in a relationship that does take precedence over cooking, cleaning, loyalty, and sex.
All right, so we're gonna.
Everybody gave it a 10 for 10.
Cool.
10 for 10.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to stop it right here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Now, we did come at you a little early today because of, it's Valentine's Day weekend. People got things to do. But next week, we will be going live at our usual time, which is usually between 4:45 and 5 o'clock. So catch us next week, same time, same place, or, our usual time in the same place. Go follow us on TikTok.
Share this video.
Follow the VERB page on TikTok. That's v.e.r.b. If you want to catch some of our earlier conversations or videos that we've recorded, then go to my YouTube page. Just type in Aaron Tate. You should be able to see my handsome face. And you'll have access to all of the videos or all of the discussions, all of the topics we've discussed so far. Again, follow us at TikTok, v.e.r.b. Right now, we're going to say goodbye to our future selves. One day we'll look back on this and wonder why we were ever like this in the first place.
Part 2 next Saturday. We have 15 more.
Please tune in.
We have 15 more traits.
And tell a friend, tell a family member, tell anybody that you feel like needs to hear these conversations. Peace.